Did you have a vivid imagination as a child? What happened to it?
Is your imagination important enough to keep active beyond childhood? Today you'll learn why God gave you an imagination and how He wants you to use it.
Welcome back to our Change How You Think weekly video podcast.
If you'd like to hear from us every week, then subscribe to our videos on YouTube or click on the weekly video tab at the top of this webpage. Fill in a subscription form and you'll get our free self-assessment ebook, Healthy Moods, along with your choice of mental, spiritual, or relationship information.
God gave each of us the ability to see things in our spirit and mind that aren't physically present. We call that our imagination. How we use that ability is up to us.
This week we have an excerpt from the Transformed Imagination course in the Free Your Mind program. The purpose of the course is to help you understand and activate your imagination so you can hear from God and talk to Him in a more visual way.
We want you to value and develop your imagination and no longer suppress it, thinking it's too unreliable and irrational to be useful.
In this clip, you will learn imagination is a gift from God that may need healing and reactivation to reach its full potential.
Watch it, and we'll see you on the other side. Welcome to Lesson 1 of the Transformed Imagination. God gave each of us the ability to see things in our spirit and mind that aren't physically present, and we call that our imagination. How we use that ability is up to us.
This course will help you understand and activate your imagination so you can hear from God and talk to Him in a more visual way. Your walk with God will be transformed and it will open the door to new levels of creativity.
Children are born with vivid, active imaginations. Their play is full of unlimited possibilities. They build forts and castles, do heroic rescues, or imagine being rescued themselves from wild animals and dinosaurs.
Think of all the things you used to imagine. What did you dream of becoming when you grew up? Was it a sports hero? A famous pop singer? Or for those of you who are more sensible, an accountant?
What happened to that dream? Did you become what you dreamed? Did your dreams just fade away as you got older and you were told to grow up and be realistic?
There has been research into children and imagination. After the Apollo 13 near disaster in 1970, NASA realized they needed astronauts who could think outside the box and come up with creative solutions when they faced a crisis. They developed a test to measure creative thinking so they could spot creative geniuses during the recruitment process.
Some researchers decided to test the new assessment tool on 5-year-olds to determine if creativity is something a person is born with or learned. To their astonishment, they discovered that 98% of the 5-year-olds scored in the creative genius category. They would make great astronauts.
So you were a creative genius when you were 5. How has that played out in your life?
The researchers tracked the 5-year-olds and reassessed them 5 years later. By age 10, only 30% were still in the creative genius category, and by age 15, only 12%.
So what happens to our creativity as we get older? Where does our brilliantly creative childhood imagination go?
Is our imagination important enough to keep it active beyond childhood? Could it help us at work, at home, and spiritually?
These are the questions we'll be answering in this course. We want you to value and develop your imagination and no longer suppress it, thinking it's too unreliable and irrational to be useful.
Your imagination is a God-given gift. You may need healing so it can be reactivated and become an important part of your life and walk with God.
Genesis 1:26 and 27 describes the creation of man. So it says, "Then God said, 'Let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness.' So God created mankind in His own image. In the image of God He created them. Male and female He created them."
So we've been made in God's image. That means we share many of His characteristics, which sets us apart from the animal kingdom.
At the time of creation, God imagined what the earth would look like and then created it. He imagined humans and created us to be much like Him.
He shared His spiritual nature with us and put it into a human body. He gave us a personal spirit so we could have a relationship with Him. And that means we carry His spiritual DNA.
Our spirits carry a resemblance to God that includes a creative imagination. We too have been given the ability to imagine something and then create it.
We communicate with God through our personal spirit because we are both spiritual beings. It's the part of us that interacts with the invisible realm.
In Ephesians 1:18, Paul describes one of the abilities of our spirit when he says, I pray that the eyes of your heart may be enlightened in order to know the hope to which he has called you.
The eyes of our heart refers to being able to see with our imaginations, which are our spiritual eyes. In this verse, Paul prays we will use our imagination to see our hope and our future.
So each one of us has a God-given imagination which is part of our personal spirit. But as we grow older, we shut down our imagination and become more realistic.
Growing up, we soon realize only rational thinking is rewarded in our society. Creative ideas are often ridiculed as just being wild imaginations. Creativity is the luxury of dreamers.
Rational thinking has also invaded the church. Many Christians have been taught we relate to God primarily through our mind and rational thought. The spirit and eyes of the heart are devalued or ignored.
The imagination is then considered a dangerous playground of the enemy because of Psalm 73 verse 7 that says, from their callous hearts comes iniquity. Their evil imaginations have no limit.
In that case, the imagination can't be depended on for anything trustworthy or godly. It's more likely to lead us into sin.
So it's safer to shut your imagination down. This has created generations of head knowledge Christians with dormant spirits. We used to be that way ourselves until our hearts were healed.
Today we want to reactivate your imagination so it begins to grow into the spiritual communication tool God intended it to be. When you can picture yourself with Jesus, it's so much easier to walk with Him, ask Him questions, and listen to His answers. So you can see, your imagination is a powerful spiritual communication tool, and God wants you to use it regularly.
An easy way to start is to begin picturing Jesus close to you when you are praying and talking to Him.
You need to bless your imagination and practice using it. You have no idea what God might show you.
If you'd like to learn more about developing and using your godly imagination, come and join us in Free Your Mind.
Free Your Mind is an online self-study program that will help you change how you think. It will guide you through a pathway of healing mentally, spiritually, and emotionally.
Through 15-minute videos, regular live Q&As, an online community forum, and 24-hour access to our entire video library, you can work at your own speed any time from anywhere in the world on any device to begin the life-changing transformation you've been looking for. You can learn more about it using the links below this video.
And we'll talk to you next week, but this week, begin picturing Jesus when you pray.